Did we get a holiday beer splash?
Got a serious. You know what that means? That was a Nod Hill.
Yeah, Nod Hill always gives you your absolute money's worth. They fill it up to the tippy top.
Wow. I don't know. There's some kind of they defy physics somehow, and they get more beer in the can than is possible to get into the can.
Well, I mean, they're just they're just amazing over there, Chris. It's a very extra super duper exciting night, not only because it is holiday night and we have an incredible group reading full of fabulous readers, a fabulous mix of Fumfa grads and special guests and returning reader friends, but it is our first night where we are also live on Twitter. We have added
Well, we welcome all you twits out there who are from Twitter.
We have added a streaming destination.
That's crazy town.
So awesome.
Can't believe it.
All right.
I want to show something.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my Colorado beer opener that I didn't use because I had a can tonight, but every time I open a bottle, I will be using this in the foreseeable future with my special Colorado beer can or beer bottle opener, courtesy of our friend, Mr. Midnight, all the way from Colorado.
That was so sweet of him to get you that. Like, of all the things, like exactly the iconic beer opening moment.
He knows me. He knows me.
He knows you. He's our dear friend. And we got it. Like, I don't believe Midnight has joined us yet.
That's all right. We'll tell him about it.
But we'll need to show that again, Chris. It is just.
We will. I also have something else. I have a special Christmas cookie here, and you see a resemblance?
Chris, if that's not you, I don't know what it is.
My daughter made that today, and she
amazing.
said I had to show it on the air. It's
Frankie, incredible.
See how I taste it.
Uh-oh. That is too funny, Chris.
Oh.
Amazing. Delicious.
That was quite delicious.
Well, I'm sure it's super sweet, just like you, Chris.
Just like me. It's a sweet and it's got a little zing.
Of course. A little spice.
and it's very bad for you. So there we go.
It's very bad for you.
Just like
Uh-oh.
California is in the house.
California is in the house. Hey, Susan M. Davis. Oh my goodness. Yes, our friends are joining us. Chris, I am watching on Twitter, and I am seeing we have at least 2 folks viewing us so far from Twitter.
On Twitter? Really?
Yeah. Well, probably including myself, since I'm monitoring things over there today. We've got a lot of folks on Facebook and YouTube coming in. Susan says we both look lovely, Chris. Thank you, Susan.
I appreciate that. Chris, I worked hard on this.
Well, Chris, I mean, the best part of it is really just that fabulous beard you got going year round.
It is. We both have some Nod Hill tonight, right?
We sure do, Chris.
I got my emanation from Nod Hill Brewery.
Chris, that is an IPA. How does it compare to Geo Bunny? This is our Nod Hill commercial segment.
You see, this is a West Coast IPA, so it's more laid back, I suppose. I don't know how that works, but anyway, and you got your special tarot card.
Yes, I have the I'm like too excited about this. I don't know what TikTok's done to me with the tarot card, but I'm pretty fascinated by it all now. But they have a series of tarot card beers over there, and this is one that I really like called Knight of Pentacles, which is also a very interesting tarot card. And I got this on Friday when Chris and I had our holiday beer up at Nod Hill, our beloved Nod Hill. In Ridgefield.
That's right.
It was such a good time, Chris. It was so, so nice. And we just wish that all of you out there, all of our friends, fans, readers, guests could have been there hanging out with us.
Wow. It's so nice to be in person.
It really is. It really, really is. And we are hoping to, plan a few little social events and possibly a hybrid type reading somewhere somehow. So stay tuned in 2022. We are building that list.
Absolutely.
We will be back in the new year, and we are very excited about it. But we need to give you an official welcome to our show tonight, which is Fumfa 77. It is our holiday night. This is our second holiday night. It is now officially a tradition, Chris.
True. I was writing that down. Annual holiday night open mic, and it was so exciting to write that word, annual.
Right? I totally agree, Chris. That is just the sweetest thing. Mom and Dad are out there. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom, Dad. Happy Christmas to you, and or Festivus, whatever it is you
Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy the upcoming winter solstice, and Happy New Year to all of our friends. It's just so wonderful to spend these happy holidays, happy times, end of the year, hopefully looking forward to an even better year next year. And we're so thankful for for sharing your talent and friendship and work with us over this last year. Let's tell them about the readers that are reading tonight, Chris. We've got for you tonight Deb Carr, Meredith Kaiser, Terry Rose Jertson, Unmesh Mohidkar, Lisa Castner, Ed Poetastic, Marie Mitchell, Stuart Phillips, Barb Jennis, and Meg Moore. This is an all-star list of folks. Chris, that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. We are just so excited to get into these readings. They are holiday and winter themed readings, so we are excited to hear them. Just get in that spirit. We hope you're wearing your Santa hats at home and your blingy tops. And Chris, Can you show the audience this fabulous sweater? This fabulous.
Oh, this sweater! Yeah, this sweater is look at that. You got Santa.
I love it.
You got a reindeer. And what are they doing? They're playing cornhole. Because what says Christmas like cornhole up at the North Pole? Very strange. Very strange.
Nothing, it's absolutely perfect. It is absolutely perfect.
Chris, I think it's a writing prompt of some kind.
I think so.
I'd love to see what people came up with that. Santa playing cornhole with the reindeer.
Yes.
Okay, go quick, one page right now.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Prompt right now. Chris, that is a perfect prompt. All right. We're gonna put a pin in that for next year. That's perfect. All right. So, Chris, before we get started with our readers for tonight, can you give us a little preview of what's coming up in January 2022?
Well, that's true. It will be in January because we're taking some time off for these holidays, so we can relax and hang out, and, be with family, friends, and what have you. And so we'll be back though on the 9th of January in 2022, if you can believe that. We've got a couple of special nights. We're going to have a special night of recent grads from the FUMFA family.
Yes.
Celebrating their accomplishment. We're going to have an evening of writers from Red or Green Books. That's READ, Red or Green Books, that our friend Generalissimo is putting together. And then we just have loads and loads of groovy people including some Fumfa folks, Ellen Gelman, Anna Maria Spagna, and many, many others lined up and waiting in line for 2022.
It's going to be amazing. And
mark your calendars. If you have your 2022 calendars for January 9th, don't forget us.
Absolutely. And make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. We will keep you updated.
We hip.
We are very cool, Chris. We're very cool. Well, Chris, it is time to get into our fabulous holiday night readings.
It is. Let's rock and roll.
We got to get Deb Carr up here. Hey, Deb.
Hello. Hey.
I love your Santa hat.
Thanks.
Super groovy. That's that's one of those zebra Santa hats.
Yes. It is.
Yeah, it's very, very stylish.
So cute. It is awesome,
Thank
Deb.
you.
All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and read Deb's bio for you all. So if you don't know Deb already, Deb has been on a few of our open mic nights, and we're thrilled to have her back. Deb Carr is a 2019 Fairfield MFA graduate. Woo, Deb! She also has a BA in English from the University of Maryland. However, that was a while back, and she spent her time doing everything except English. But the idea of being a writer kept coming back, like grass growing between the cracks of a sidewalk. So she finally decided to cross the Enders Island Causeway. Her Fumfa thesis was a screenplay, Ojibwe Lake, a psychological thriller. She decided that Rod Serling is her spirit animal. She hasn't had any fiction published yet, although she's had nonfiction science articles published online with topics ranging from infectious diseases to robot salad chefs. I want to know more. Lately, she serves as a fiction slush pile reader for the literary journal Consequence. That is so awesome. Deb Carr, we can't wait to hear you.
Take it away.
All right, thanks. Okay, this is titled The Mink Before Christmas. Santa's face turned beet red on Zoom as he suffered a coughing fit. I feel like I've been run over by a truck, but I can rally by Christmas Eve, he croaked to the conference room. That's only 4 days away, boss, noted Peppermint, the head elf. Santa sat up in bed, bringing his laptop closer. No, I can do it. My doctor agrees. Doctor, all we have at the North Pole are elves, exclaimed Mrs. Claus. I'll have you know that I graduated from the Arctic Circle School of Osteopathic Medicine, huffed Dr. Hollyleaf as she glared into the screen over Santa's shoulder. It's too risky, Nick, said Mrs. Claus. We need a substitute. The elves were stunned. Who? What about Rudolph? Squeaked a voice. Those in the conference room turned to look at an empty chair. A white mink climbed up the back of the chair and landed on the table. Who let a mink into this meeting? Exclaimed Jolly, head of North Pole Security. He doesn't have an ID badge. I escaped from a Scandinavian fur farm. Where in Scandinavia? Demanded Jolly. This mink is Lars. He's my guest, said Mrs. Claus. Can't Rudolph help? Insisted Lars. Listen, Furball, he led the sleigh. He didn't drive it, growled Peppermint. Besides, he's retired. Retired? The entire reindeer team retired over 20 years ago, said Peppermint. The explosion in the world's population made a sleigh and 8 little reindeer, well, 9 if you count Neon Nose, impractical. Santa uses a rocket sleigh. He has since 2000. Besides, if you've seen Rudolph lately, he can't even get himself off of the ground, much less a sled full of toys. Too many late-night reindeer chow binges. I can drive the sleigh, said Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus had a carefully cultivated image of a sweet, white-haired little old lady who baked cookies and fixed Santa's supper when he returned from his Christmas Eve journey. The truth was more complex. Mrs. Claus did yoga and lifted weights. During the off-season, she surfed the north shore of Oahu. No, said Santa, launching into another coughing fit. We don't have a choice. We can't disappoint the children, proclaimed Mrs. Claus. I'll help, said Peppermint. Me too, said Lars. What help are you going to be? Peppermint scoffed. The packages weigh more than you do. We'll figure something out, said Mrs. Claus. We need flight simulator time, said Peppermint. Over the next 4 days, Mrs. Claus, Peppermint, and Lars spent feverish hours in the rocket sleigh flight simulator. Mrs. Claus perfected her piloting skills. Peppermint and Lars practiced loading presents onto a high-speed conveyor belt, which on the real sleigh belched them out into the ether. Each present had tiny embedded RFID chips, which allowed them to travel to the right house and arrive under the tree. The three became bleary-eyed, subsisting only on hot chocolate and cookies. By the time Christmas Eve arrived, they all had sugar highs. Highway to the danger zone, said Mrs. Claus as she pressed the red ignition button on the reel sled. It roared to life. The elf ground crew ran for their lives as the sled clipped a stand of fir trees. Mrs. Claus got the hang of flying the sleigh level, and Peppermint and Lars were a well-oiled team as they placed packages on the belt. We're running behind, said Mrs. Claus over Ohio. We need to pick up the pace. It's almost sunrise in China. Suddenly, Lars got his paw stuck in the bow of a package. He flew by in a blur. Lars, screamed Peppermint. We need to go back, Mrs. Claus. Negative, said Mrs. Claus. The sled flew on. Lars poked his head cautiously out of the branches of a Christmas tree in a living room. A man and woman sat on a sofa in pajamas, sipping coffee. Courtney, come open your presents, the woman called. Kay, replied the Goth daughter, her black fingernails clicking over the keyboard of her smartphone. She sighed as she shuffled over to the Christmas tree, rolling eyes outlined in black. Then she stared into the branches, stunned. A ferret? She grabbed Lars. Mom, Dad, how did you know? Mom and Dad sputtered into their coffee cups. They cast accusatory glances at each other. It wasn't me or Dad, honey. It must have been Santa. Mom Googled, can ferrets be housebroken on her smartphone, afraid of the answer. This is the best present ever, Courtney said. I need a ferret leash and a cage with a ferret hammock. Lars decided he was going to like it here. The end.
I love it! Yeah, that was the most fun, and what a fabulous way to kick off our evening. So
Thank you.
So cute.
Okay.
And Mrs. Claus, I always wondered about her. She's awesome.
That was so great, Deb. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So, I mean, Chris, what a way to start our evening.
Perfect.
Deb was absolutely fantastic. That was so fun, so funny. You know, we were in the North Pole. We got some laughs starting us out, and you know, we know it's going to continue to be a fabulous evening. Up next, we have Chris. We have Meredith Kaiser.
Ta-da.
Meredith,
There she is.
welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, love your Santa hat, Meredith.
Thank you. Love yours, Katie. And I love the sweater, Chris.
And matching outfit.
It is perfect. All right, Chris is going to go ahead and read your bio, Meredith.
I
It's so
am.
great to have you back.
Dr. Meredith Kaiser is a 2001 PhD graduate of New York University's Steinhardt School and a 2015 graduate of Fairfield U's MFA program. She's the Dean of Fairfield University's top-ranked Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies by day, and sneaks her creative writing into the margins of her busy life. Her first novel, The Keeping House, was published in 2019. The sequel, Ring Road, was released very recently, October of 2021. Prior to pursuing fiction, she published 11 professional nursing books and has earned 4 American Journal of Nursing Book of the Year awards.
Amazing.
Here we go.
Yo.
Take it away, Doctor.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for having me. It's such a delight to be here. I'm going to read today from The Keeping House, which was my first novel. A little bit of background. Lauren and her mom bought The Keeping House. It's a 18th century dilapidated Queen Anne Victorian, and Lauren lives on the second and third floor with her son Brian, and her mom lives on the first floor. There's some mystical elements to the house, which you'll see in the reading tonight. And then also Lauren just met a love interest, who is going to pop into the scene here. So this is a few chapters into the book. Lauren backed away from the Christmas tree toward the easy chair she dragged into the middle of the room. The tree filled the living room tower, and its branches touched the glass panes of the 5 surrounding windows. She admired the tree for a few moments and then sat, handing Brian the ornaments. Like a dutiful soldier, he took each one and hung it on the same section of the tree. Lauren eyed that area crowded with ornaments. Though she'd normally ask Brian to rearrange them, she was hesitant to disrupt the scene and settle deeper into the chair. Their Rottweiler Carl lay curled in front of the fireplace, glancing up when someone spoke and settling his head on the floor between his paws when it was quiet. Few things could have improved the scene, snow being one of them. It had been a mild fall. The temperature in New Haven dropped each week, but only a consistent stream of misty rain came to seep a chill into the bones of their old home. Lauren directed her attention toward the tree, toward the beyond the tree, toward the darkening sky. It was late afternoon, but the streetlights in front of the house had come on, warning all to retreat inside where it was warm and bright. Once again, Lauren considered redistributing the ornaments, but she kept quiet, knowing she'd fix it later. They had exceeded their budget for decorations, but Lauren was convinced the expense was worth it. The house seemed destined for Christmas, and to decorate any less would not do it justice. They all needed a boost of holiday spirit to help them gain perspective since Jeff's death and the effect it had on them a year earlier. Lauren lounged in the easy chair, mesmerized by the tree and enjoying the sound of Elvis singing Blue Christmas. Usually Brian chattered away, interjecting mom before and after each sentence, but he was worn out from the substantial task of decorating the 4,800 square foot Queen Anne and was entranced by the sparkling lights of the tree as darkness fell upon the room. The quiet scene was interrupted when Carl Bark sprang to his feet and darted toward the kitchen. Lauren unhooked her legs from the arm of the easy chair and followed him, opening the back door to Drew. "What's going on in here?" Drew boomed as he entered the kitchen, scratching Carl's ear. "It's so quiet, I thought you'd all gone fishing." "Hi, Drew." Brian emerged from the living room. "Sorry for barging in. I was in the area and wanted to check on my pal and take another look at that contraption in the stair of your basement. But if this isn't a good time..." "Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. And for you, little man, I bought all the best Christmas movies in one set. I've got Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and The Year Without a Santa Claus." Drew handed the set to Brian. "Can I watch, Mom?" Brian asked. "Sounds like a perfect end to a perfect day," Lauren said. "Why don't I microwave some chicken nuggets and French fries and you can eat in front of the TV tonight?" "Yes," he cheered and dashed out of the room with the movies. Drew stood near the tree, admiring it. "Quite a beauty, huh?" Lauren asked. "What? Oh, yes, beautiful. Wait, what do you mean, Brian or the tree?" Drew looked confused. "Brian's a beauty, no doubt, but I was talking about the tree. Come into the kitchen while I fix Brian's dinner. Are you using power tools today, or can you have a glass of wine with me?" Lauren brushed past him and he followed her into the kitchen. Drew laughed. "I'm just surveying the situation again. A beer would be great if you have one. Your place is really shaping up. Wait until I show you what we've done with the basement. You know, there used to be an old speakeasy in there. The bar remains and we had it all cleaned up." She stopped short of mentioning her upcoming Christmas party. "Let me take these up to Brian, then maybe you'll come down to the basement with me. I want to show you all the work I've done, and you can take another look at that iron thing. Be right back." When she returned, she led Drew down the stone staircase to the basement. She flipped the switch and the basement filled with light. They had upgraded with additional circuitry in the preceding months, and the brightness took a considerable amount of eeriness away from the space. It also added wall-to-wall carpeting in preparation for the Christmas party, which they decided to go through with despite their dwindling renovation budget. Lauren showed off the polished mahogany bar and renovated shelves lined with bottles and glassware. She had furnished the room with old theater benches from hotel liquidators. A new pool table and billiard lights completed the room. Lauren hesitated before leaving the bar room. "I get the weirdest feeling when I'm down here. Do you feel anything?" "Nothing. This room is really cool, though." It just seems odd to me. Of course, there are lots of things odd about this house. Lauren shook her head, suddenly anxious to leave. She blurted, I better go check on Brian. All right, just going to need a few measurements so I can so I can bring back the right tools. Near the stairs, Lauren stopped short. There, it is again. What? She struggled to find the words. It's like you're leaving on a trip, but know you've forgotten something important and can't remember what it is. It's an old house with over 100 years of spirits coming and going. If I were you, I'd stay tuned. Spirits that keep in houses speak a different language, but they speak. You'll figure it out. In any event, they seem harmless enough. If these walls could talk, right? Maybe they are, Drew said. After she'd put Brian to bed and Drew left, Lauren tiptoed down the front stairs and knocked on her mother's door. Lauren, this is a surprise. Is everything okay? Oh, sure, but I wanted to run a few things by you if you have a minute. I got nothing but minutes. Shoot. Beverly led Lauren into the living room. First, I've been getting the weirdest feeling when I go down to the basement. It's like this strong spirit compels me to stay. Lauren curled into the corner of Beverly's sofa and rested her wine glass on the end table. I've also been having this strange recurring dream. I seem to remember it better in the basement. It's about a young boy who keeps calling Mama, Mama over and over, and I can't get to him. The basement always brings the dream to my mind, even if I haven't thought about it all day. Beverly placed her feet on the ottoman and sipped her tea. Strange. Is the boy in the dream Brian? No, it's weird. I don't know who it is. I know what you're saying. I have a strange feeling when I go into your living room. Really? You know, Mom, you may have been here before. Grandma Dorothy thinks her friend Emily used to live here. She may have brought you to visit. Well, that could explain it. I don't have any memories of the house, but there is a strong feeling. It's hard to describe. You should ask Grandma, although she seemed weird when I asked her. At first, she seemed sure she'd been here, and then she froze up. Strange. Lauren's head quivered as she shook off the memory of Dorothy's strange behavior. I may do that. You said there were a few things. What else did you want to talk about? Lauren hesitated. She wasn't sure how her mother would react to Drew. There wasn't much affection between her mother and Jeff, but Beverly was traditional, and it had only been a year since Jeff had died. I've met someone, and I was thinking of inviting him to the Christmas party. What do you think? Lauren blurted. Beverly clasped her hands in front of her lips, and a grin spread across her face. Oh, Lauren, how wonderful. Tell me about him. Lauren filled her mother in. He's really the nicest guy, but I don't know. Is it too soon? Honey, you deserve to be happy. Invite your friend to the party. I can't wait to meet him. Thanks, Mom. Lauren took a final slug of her wine and rose to give Beverly a hug. She couldn't wait to race upstairs and make a phone call. The end.
Love it, Meredith.
Thanks, everyone.
I love all of those details and that richness. I felt like I was with this family. Like I felt like I was in this house. I absolutely love it.
Right?
Thanks, Kate. You're so sweet.
Christmas, scene in your novel that you can just access for us.
And yeah, I must have just had Hallmark on the mind when I was writing it. I'm kind of your go-to for like the romance, the holidays.
I love it. Well, Meredith, we hope to see you on Romance Night.
Right.
I'll be there
for Romance Night again.
That'll be absolutely perfect, Meredith. Thank you so much. Fabulous reading.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Another fabulous reading, Chris.
We're getting some serious fiction going tonight here.
Absolutely.
I think we got 2 in the fiction column.
Yes, that's right. But Chris, we have coming at us right now. Up next are going to be 2 in the poetry column. So I'm, my people are keeping up with your people.
All right, bring it on.
We are going to, sorry, Chris. I know you're doing the banners. Dueling banners.
Put you on the naughty list.
I'm so sorry. We need to welcome Terry Rose Dirtson.
Hey.
Love the hat, Terry.
I don't know if you can get the full expanse of this hat.
Look at that.
It is absolutely perfect.
I'm a Grogu fan. The child, the Mandalorian.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, we had what's his name?
Grogu.
Grogu.
My poems will not be about Grogu.
That is so great, Terry. And it looks like you've got some red wall, but also this beautiful Christmas tree behind you. Look, a fabulous scene.
There you go.
Just Absolutely perfect. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and read Terry's bio for us.
Sure.
All right, let me get this about Terry Rose Sturtson is an artist, wife, mother, and peer recovery specialist who took up poetry in 2020 as a way to cope with the new normal. That is awesome, Terry. She regularly attends open mics at Nuyorican Cafe, Fincabulary, The Word is Right, Nomadic Press, Tumblewords Project, Society X, Barbed Wire, A Blot from the Blue, Bronx at Fun Hub, Poetry in the Brew, and has featured on Fumfa Live, the Forever 7, and Mitch's Salon poetry events. Terry, that's awesome.
I've been busy.
Yeah, I love it. She receives honorable mentions for online submissions from writers around the world and Society X. Currently, she is working on her first poetry book with Red or Green Books and is a contributor in the erotic anthology entitled Touching Tongues. Ooh. You can find, we might need Terry on our romance night.
I think we might.
And you can find Terry Rose Dirtson on Facebook and FunnyZMom at Instagram.com. You can see the spelling on our Facebook page. All right, Terry, we're excited to hear you.
Thank you. I have a couple of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 haikus to start. So they're my holiday haikus. First one, lasagna, Christmas at Auntie's, pies galore. Second, stuffed mushrooms, juicy basted turkey, spiral ham. Third one, ricotta filled amaretto, fave flavor. Fourth, crispy, sweet, salty chocolate treat, munch cookies. 5, green beans mashed, buttered rolls gravy, side salad. 6, pinoli, Italian cookies. Eat them all. And I have some of my holiday poems are not very cheery. I tried to not be Debbie Downer here. But I have one for people who are struggling in the holidays, and it is called What to Say to Your Friend Who Wants to Give Up. Say, please don't. Say, I'm here for you. Say, I care about you. Say, let me help you. Say, I'm on your side. Say, hold my hand. Say, I will support you. Say, tell me what you need. Say, you are a precious gift. Say, I have been where you are. Say, I understand. Say, let's get through this together. And then I have a few about memories from my holidays growing up. Holidays are coming. I miss the days when my kids were smaller and their needs were fewer as far as materialistic aspects were concerned. I didn't have much money, but I always pulled off the holidays with much love and some help from charity. Nowadays, they are grown, but they know I still don't have much money, and not to ask for some or any of the more expensive things that they now can afford to buy themselves. As I shop in the stores and notice that they already are pushing all the Christmas decorations, an ever-present reminder that those days are only memories now, and I can choose to celebrate the way I wish with no more pressure to meet the demands of consumerism. And then I have one from my childhood. Holidays, spelled D-A-Z-E. On Christmas, oh Christmas tree, I miss my family. The time when my parents were still together and we would congregate at each other's homes. And there was mad pies and cookies and cakes. The aunts would each make like 3 desserts. And there were apple, pumpkin, ricotta cookies made with Chinese noodles and chocolate Italian pastries and pinoli cookies. Lasagna for Christmas with gravy that took all day on the stove with meatballs. My Aunt Arlene would make her much requested stuffed mushrooms smothered in butter sauce. There were the famous green bean casserole and salad and homemade dressing. Memories are a bit fuzzy now, recalling all the other details, but I remember the kids were at the children's table, and afterwards we would go play together with the toys that we brought with us, because the gifts we would get at our relatives' house were never toys. Always clothes or a check. Many, many, many clothes and many, many, many checks. My father took those for our savings account. Did they never understand the mind of a child? Where are all those checks now? We dare not ask.
Oh, sorry, Terry. You're all set.
I think I'm done, because that's all I brought for my holiday repertoire.
We love you, Terry.
We thought that was a dramatic. We
so
thought maybe that was a dramatic pause, but that was.
absolutely
Well,
love
if my
this.
dad's watching, I'm in trouble. That's all I have to say.
Uh-oh.
Where are the checks, Dad?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's more than made up for it over the years. I should, put that in there. So to soften the blow a little bit about that poem.
I think that leaves you with a good question in your mind, because I think that is a very relatable experience. Like, where is that cash that I got that I entrusted to my, family? Mom and dad are my parents are very good about that, but I can imagine how you might lose track of that as a kid, with a check.
All you care about is toys. That's all you want. You don't want cash. You don't want clothes.
That's right.
Your parents were like, "Thank you, I paid for
Yeah,
it."
that's right.
Right.
Season.
My mom and dad are they're booking their plane ticket now to get to me.
Terry, I loved the food and holiday imagery. I love that you spoke to that, like, a level of loneliness and nostalgia that is so true, that is so real, and just really, really enjoyed your poems. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. I'm still hungry from those haikus a little bit.
I know. I was like, and then she was like, "What, the stuffed mushrooms, like, covered in butter?" I was like, yes. We love it, Terry. Great imagery. Well, Chris, another amazing reading, and we have another poet coming up here, all the way from Monday morning in India, Unmesh.
There he is.
Hello.
Hello. We are so thrilled to have you with us again, Unmesh. We absolutely love you. We love your work and love your commitment to poetry and sharing it so early in the morning.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me as always. And this is a wonderful platform. It's like a family.
Thank you.
So I really enjoy coming here. Thanks a lot.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Unmesh. Chris, will you do the honor of reading Unmesh's bio?
Unmesh Moidkar is the author of the poetry collection Light, Shadow, Life, The Missing Verse of the Soul, which is available on Amazon. He is he has taken part in multiple poetry anthologies. His work has been featured in multiple poetry anthologies. He's also a featured poet in multiple international open mics and podcasts. He has his own open mic. Let's unmesh life every Saturday. That's at 8 p.m., but that's India Standard Time, or whatever that's called. It is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm sure you can find that somehow. We got to figure out a way for people. That's right. He has performed at multiple international events like Singapore and San Jose poetry festivals, and he's a regular performer at the New Eurekan Cafe in New York. He writes in 3 languages: English, Hindi, and Marathi. He is a globetrotter, having visited 22 countries, and tonight we welcome him to our holiday show. Thanks, Unmesh.
Excited to hear you.
Okay, here we go. Leading a textbook life. He reached to the end of the book. The book only took him from cover to cover. Outside the book, he refused to see the world. Like dreaded monster, he decided to see never. Still in his textbook, following the rules filling his life to the brim. They did not change the rules. They changed the book itself. He and his rules sleeping inside the book. reluctant, redundant, refusing to accept the reality like a traffic light turning red, rules, ruining his life. What is he going to do? Is he going to throw it away, never to see that dreaded, stained, smelly book again? If he throws the book, he will throw a part of himself which ruled him iron fisted, rule breaking his life. The rules never rested. Morning to evening they tested after taste of life like the old smelly library of a monster courtroom, rules breaking his life. But he never broke the rules. In fact, the book changed, the rule changed. He still sits surrounded by those dreaded old rules, silently, looking at the world. The world believed the rules are to be broken, but because of rules, lonely, broken beyond recognition. Even now, he looks at the book, kept in the corner, looking at him, judging, following every action, emotion, and reaction. He can't say enough is enough. Paranoia of rules, making a parody of his life. He leaves the book, never to look at it again. Roams in empty, noisy, scary spaces. The spaces never scared him. What scared him was chaos. Chaos without rules. He still roams in those halls with stone pillars, waiting for someone to call for order, order, order. Once again, seeking, asking, wanting the solace of a new book which will enclose him from cover to cover. Rules ruling his life, rules killing his life, rules failing his life. That was the first one. Let's go to the next one. Lore of unspoken words. Epic stories of unforgiving pauses. Harmony in the music of broken glasses. Timeless time travel. Thoughtless artificial intelligence. Cruel emotions, thoughts in static motion, topsy turvy heart. Sometimes easy is hard. One more. Defying logic, facing falling boulders, running away from the collapsing thunderous glaciers, journey to nowhere, infinite silence, pinching pieces of heart plastered everywhere, never become one with nature's beauty, always preferred many faces with one heart. One more short one. Beyond road, there is journey. Beyond travel, destination. Beyond love and hate, life. Beyond earth, no life. Beyond death, there is time. Beyond time, vast emptiness. Beyond emptiness, vast nothingness. Journey from nil to cipher. Easy to see, difficult to decipher. Difficult to decipher. There are few short ones. Sprawling thoughts, haywire, livewire, crossfire, hellfire, ceasefire, inspire, always entangling, surrounding like barbed wires, always entangling, surrounding like barbed wire. And this is the last one. Skimming through the faces, skimming through the faces, he understood. He needs to dig deeper into the eyes. He needs to dig deeper into the eyes. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Woo! Unmesh, always so powerful, so awesome. The most incredible intonation and musical performance, like powerful stuff. I just wrote this down. Paranoia of rules, making a parody of his life. Ooh, I
The
love
energy.
it.
Energy.
Awesome, Unmesh. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Always
Thanks a
love
lot.
to hear
Thanks
you.
for this opportunity. Just love this platform. Thank you. All the best.
Love having you, and we'll have you back soon.
Absolutely in 2022. Thank you so much, Umesh.
I just want to take this because midnight's with us now. It's midnight. I got it. Midnight. It's in my hands. Thank you, Midnight. I owe you one.
Midnight, it was just the best thing in the world to get to meet you in person. We had the most fun lunch, and Chris couldn't be there. I finally got his beer opener for him, which is the most perfect little gift from Colorado. Absolutely love it. We love you. We love you, Midnight. And we love you too, Chance. We see you in the chat.
Well, when Chance gets me a gift, then I'll love him back. But
oh, Chance, you got to come visit us. You got to come visit us up here.
Uh-oh. I think we're in trouble now. We better get moving on.
Uh-oh, we're still going to start getting the booze from Midnight. Well, we have to welcome our next guest, Lisa Castner. Welcome, Lisa.
Hey.
We are so happy to see you, Lisa. How is everything? How are you doing?
Honestly, I am just beyond thrilled to be here. The readings have been absolutely phenomenal. The wide variety of storytelling and poetry, like, oh my gosh, it's such an honor just to be, and I'm thrilled to be here too, because we all, I don't know who does know this or doesn't know this, we all went to the, we were in the FUMFA at the same time.
We were.
Yes, we were. So we had many a fascinating and fun night, just like hanging out and telling stories, real and made up. So this is just a blast.
It's warm, it's cozy, it's fun. It's just the best. Lisa, I completely agree. I totally share your feelings. And thank you so much for saying that. It has been an absolutely incredible night. And, you know, all of our guests, all of our friends, just absolutely amazing. All right. Well, I will introduce to you the amazing Lisa Castner. Lisa Castner was born in Camden, New Jersey, which was one of the most dangerous cities in America. In high school, she was a dancer and co-host on Dance Party USA. At the age of 20, she came home to find her house had burned down and she was suddenly homeless. She spent the next several years rebuilding and obtaining her bachelor's, MBA, and MFA. While fulfilling an amazing corporate career, she began Running Wild LLC, which consists of Running Wild Press, where they publish great stories that don't fit neatly in a box, and Rise Press, where they publish great genre stories written by people of color and other underrepresented groups. Running Wild has been honored with 2 Best of 2019 and 2 Best of 2020 books, according to Kirkus Reviews, amazing, as well as several starred reviews and additional acclaim. Lisa was named to Yahoo Finance's top 10 entrepreneurs to watch in 2021 and nominated to Forbes' Next 1000, a list of American self-funded entrepreneurs who continue to strive during the challenging times of COVID. She was named to New York Weekly's top 10 females to watch in 2021, LA Wire's top 10 businesses to watch in 2021, and was featured in the August-September 2021 edition of Forbes magazine. Lisa,
wow.
Amazing. That is so fabulous.
Bravo.
We're gonna you know, you're amazing. We know that you're amazing, Lisa.
I would have very kind.
You definitely would have thunk. All right, Lisa, we're excited to hear you read.
Okay, so I'm actually going to read the beginning of a short story that's going to be published in 2022 in our 6th short story anthology. So this is called The Cure, and it's actually under a pen name of mine named Callie Metis. So Jane read the plaque as the tour guide droned on. He'd clearly led this tour one too many times. His excitement for the topic had been muted in the repetition. Leaning into the guide's words to regain her focus, she tightened her grip on her cane to steady her hands quivering. She had done her best to hide her illness, but the random attacks of trembles, moments of instability, and awkward slowness aggravated her fellow travelers. They looked at her with derision. At times, they questioned if she should be traveling. Her brother had left her this trip in his will. At the time of the reading, she knew he had researched their origins, but she didn't realize how deeply he'd gotten into it. This trip was not optional. So, to fulfill her brother's final wishes, she had taken time off from her senior baker position at the Cake Monkey Bakery And though her boyfriend Javier had questioned her decision, "Are you sure you want to do this alone? I mean, you're going halfway across the world." She was absolutely resolute. "It's Sweden," she said. "What could happen in Sweden?" Her brother had insisted on the specific tour, which centered on a small village that contained the Burka Viking warrior gravesite, the grave of the most powerful and ancient Nordic warrior. "This holds the key," her brother had noted in his will. "The key to all that you need, to all that we are." If it was so important, then why did he? She teared up, still in mourning for the one person she'd counted on her whole life, the one person who truly understood her. I mean, not that Javier didn't, but they had only been together since high school. Their bond was still growing. After her brother's diagnosis of Huntington's disease, he'd become more agitated, babbling on about the importance of their heritage. At that time, he had warned her that there was a high likelihood she would come down with the disease as well. She had already felt the shaking of her hands and had suffered bouts of memory loss. The tour guide paused before her, his focus squarely on her. "Did you mention that you were a descendant?" He hoped this would get her re-engaged in the tour. Even if he found the topic tiresome, it didn't mean he wanted his travelers to be bored too. Preoccupied with her thoughts and fascinated with the rune etchings along the structure's walls, his inquiry startled her. I'm sorry? "Descendant. Hadn't you mentioned that you were a distant relative?" The tour guide looked curious more than anything else. His intention was innocent. He'd fought to keep Jane engaged with the group since day one. He'd never had someone spend so much money on a tour and pay so little attention. Oh, yeah, right. According to my brother, we're from the Ulf, son of Bjorn clan. Her brother had insisted that she spend the majority of her time in this little village. Based on his recommendation, she intentionally wandered off when the tour headed to neighboring villages or into the countryside. She used her illness as a reason to remain with the village on days when they were supposed to stay overnight elsewhere. Once the others had moved on, she skulked away and dove into the historical buildings and library. She wandered the museum's halls in hopes that by immersing herself in the village's history, she would unlock her own history and whatever it held that her brother had been so desperate for her to find. She tried to stay focused on the topic at hand, but in all honesty, her desire to go home only grew. She missed Javier. She loved taking baked goods to his work at the emergency room. That was the least she could do for him and the rest of the staff. Every day they risked their lives to save those who came in. Her dreams were of mixing and pouring batter for cakes and pastries. She knew the significant dates of every member of his staff and everyone in the neighborhood. "Well, then you'll find these carvings even more fascinating," the tour guide pointed to a far wall that had been cordoned off to keep visitors from being able to touch them. They spark a debate whenever as to whether there are female warriors or not. Really? Jane already knew this from the research her brother had left. She simply didn't understand her brother's fascination. Yeah, when they first unearthed this grave, it was assumed that the high-ranking warrior was a strategist and possibly the highest-ranking officer on the island. Jane neared the etchings. "So, what changed?" The tour guide laughed. "They performed tests and discovered that the body is one of a female. Since the Nordics were a paternal society, that meant the original assumptions were improbable." Jane smirked. "Yeah, but not impossible." Her brother had been fascinated by the Burka warrior. "Well, I mean, that's for much smarter people than for me to debate." Jane reached out to touch the ruins. The foreign words and symbols called to her. She heard the foreign words and symbols calling in her mind. "Well, if you'd like, we can talk to the local historian. I'm sure he'd love to meet a descendant." The guide urged Jane onward, a few steps behind the rest of the group, her cane in hand, her stability questionable. "You know what? I'd like that." Now, I'm going to stop there. What you don't know is that, let's just say her brother was misdiagnosed. And so the shaking is not a sign of Huntington's disease. Let's just say they have special abilities. And with that, thank you. I know, it's crazy.
Wait, Lisa, I remember this one. I think I know a little bit about this story. Isn't it? Are there like vampires, right?
They're like werewolves.
Werewolves. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ruin the story.
It's all good.
No spoilers. It is an awesome story. If that didn't make you want to hear more of this story, everyone.
That's right.
I mean, so cool, Lisa.
Thank you.
A while back, you had shared some with us from this story. So good.
That's right. I remembered it too. When does this anthology come out?
It comes out, I believe, in May of 2022.
All
so
right.
Definitely look for it, check it out. And we actually have some really, really well-known and amazing authors in this same anthology. So if that didn't get you going, definitely check it out for those other authors because they are phenomenal.
Lisa, that sounds amazing. Maybe we can do a group reading night. Maybe we can, get some of you guys on here.
Blast. Oh my God, we would love that.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. Have like a night for the anthology. Okay, well we'll be in touch.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
We love you, Lisa. Yes, I remember this one. It's so cool with the warriors and the whole mysteriousness of it, and
Yes.
you're really sad about the family drama, but then you're like, they're werewolves. Oh, so cool. All right, well, Chris, it's been an amazing night, and we have more amazing people coming up. We need to welcome.
We do.
Ed Poetastic!
Because you made me fantastic! Woo! To every man, woman, boy, and girl, welcome to this jolly world. Ready for some jolly good swirl?
Ed, I just love you.
I love you too.
You're just the best. And you know what? Ed just gave us his bio right there. He is Ed Poetastic. He is here to make you feel fantastic. Ed,
That's
we're
right.
gonna leave it to you.
I love your bios. Take it away.
Thank you, Santa Chris and Jolly Cathy. Okay, my name is season's greetings. My name is Ed Potesco, alien feeling fantastic. Please give me the time to draw my rhyme for all you feel sublime. I got 2 pieces and a little sing-along in time. Okay, this is called Praise Be. Praise to the spite that keeps me right. Praise to the enemies that I learned to feel sympathy. Praise to the night that let me appreciate the light. Praise to the fool that who love him or herself for being cool. Praise to the rain that drowns the pesky stains. Praise to the sadness that blossoms happiness. Praise to life that elevates us to newer heights. Praise to the holidays that kill boringness away. Praise to people like you that keep pushing through to show the world what you do. All right, got another piece. This is called Seasonal Love. Your summer breeze danced around my pale tundra heart. Your blazing essence molded to radiant and luminous art. Your fluorescent melodies sung by the flowers and bees sound so sweet. I admire your dazzling outfit from your head to your feet. We danced around the bright and colorful orange sun inside the parade of butterflies. We watched the swaying grass and fluffy pollen washing up to hug the baby blue skies. Your radiant smile always keeps me instantly at ease. But honey, what's wrong with the trees? Hope it's not fall's orange disease. We walked through noisy, crisp, and delicate orange leaves as we watched the stripped trees just weave, weave, and weave. Sweetie, look at the overgrown pumpkins. It's almost Nightmare's Halloween as you and I and other children dressed as scary yet whimsical fiends. Your colorful scarf looks fluffier than any foxtail. Honey, do you feel that? Feels like bone-chilling frigid hail. It looks so tantalizing in the humid and passing weather. Now snowy winter. Hopefully it'll get better. The frigid blanket covered the green lands and the blue sky. The chirping birds, quacking ducks, and honking geese starts to fly. I can see your warming voice in the chilling air. You're my organic heat while I'm your brown bear. The tiny snowflakes falling down, making large and lumpy marshmallows. The creature slowly going down to sleep in its earthly burrows. Look, sweetie, beating buds and colorful flowers on naked branches. Mother Nature's awakened from hibernation while green subtly advances. I love you in the blazing summer, crisp fall, chilling winter, and revival spring. Just like the seasons, our love red swings, orange flings, white stings, and green sings. Okay, I got another merry-go-round if you want. This is called Jingle Bells. Dashing through the snow on one's open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells are bob to rings, making spirits bright. What is fun is laughing, singing, sleighing on tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. I soon Miss Fanny Bright. I was seated by her side. My horse was leading Link. Misfortune seemed to dot. We got into a drifting bank and then we got a saw. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, now the ground is white. Going while you're young. Take the girls tonight. Sing this long song. Just get a bobtail pay. 24 as your speed. Hitch him to an open sleigh and crank, you'll take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those open sleigh. Thank you so much.
Woo! And Poetastic bringing the caroling. We love you, Ed. What fabulous poems. We absolutely love it. I love that poem with the praises, and I love the imagery of the holidays and that lovely love poem. And it was so awesome for you to bring us a super fun Christmas carol like Jingle Bells. And you know what? Jingle Bells has a ton of words, and the verses, like I don't know anything more than the first verse, so that was tough.
Got a lot of verses.
Thank you so much, Ed. Always great to have you. And we hope to have you back in 2022.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Keep pushing through. Remember, we all love you guys.
We love you too, Ed. Thank you so much. Just always a delight, Chris.
always the energy and the smile factor. Always with Ed.
And you know,
makes me happy.
It really does. And whenever we have these group readings that include Ed, he is just bringing the happy spirit of love and poetry into our group chats. Just it's such a pleasure to know you, Ed. One of our friends, our special guest friends that we've met through doing the stream. So it's lovely. Well, Chris, we have several more readers for us tonight.
We do. Bring them on.
We need to welcome Marie Mitchell. Hey, Marie. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are so excited to have you, and this is a first for you. You are a Fumfa friend, and we are so thrilled that you will be reading with us tonight. Chris,
Marie, I got to ask Marie, though. How exactly do you say your last name? I should have done this earlier because I mangle everybody's name.
Katie actually pronounced it perfectly. Mitchell. Okay. If you think of Mitchell and Tires.
There you go.
I'm glad.
Very helpful. Okay, here we go. After 20 years as a reporter and editor for community newspapers in California, Idaho, and Utah, Marie Mitchell now serves as editor of the newspaper for the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City.
Woo!
Wow. Yeah, that is Catholic Diocese in Salt Lake City. She entered Fairfield University's MFA program to expand her skills in creative nonfiction and graduated last January. Huzzah!
Yeah!
During the December virtual Enders Workshop, Caroline Davis suggested Marie try poetry. How about that? And for the past year, she's been working on a collection of poems. We're reading tonight is actually from that connection.
excited to hear you, Marie.
From that collection.
Yes, maybe we can get you to read with us on our special recent grads reading. We'll talk. We'll be in touch.
I'm definitely going to talk.
I'm so glad you guys did this. This is such a great way to celebrate the holidays.
Thank you. We are just loving it.
Our pleasure.
It's great.
Take it away.
All right. So this is a series of linked poems, each of which is told in a different voice from someone who is mentioned in the Christmas narrative. The first is the Archangel Gabriel. Archangels can be found in the Jewish, Islamic, and Christian tradition as messengers of God. In the Christian tradition, Gabriel is the one who appears to the Jewish priest Zechariah to tell him that he'll be the father of John the Baptist. Gabriel also announces to Mary that she will be the mother of the Son of God, and he appears to the shepherds to tell them of the birth of Jesus. I wanted an authoritative and formal voice for Gabriel, so I chose the pantoum as the poem's form. Gabriel. Sent from the celestial court, I exult as heaven's messenger to these people. Fragile, dying folk, their immortal souls God bespoke. I exult as heaven's messenger to Eden-band creatures filled with strife, their immortal souls God bespoke, yet condemned to sweat and strain at life. To Eden-band creatures filled with strife, I appear exhorting, do not fear, yet condemned to sweat and strain at life, they yearn for the joyous tidings I bear. I appear exhorting, do not fear, priest doubts, virgin assents, shepherds hasten, they yearn for the joyous tidings I bear. Hark, the light of life is near. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was a young woman who was betrothed but hadn't yet been taken into her husband's house, according to Jewish custom. I wanted something simple and elegant for her voice, so I chose a sonnet for the voice for the form of this poem. Mary. Such strange tidings the angel brought. I, so lowly, will bear God's Son, David's heir, for whom we all cry, a king blessed by the Holy One. Already within a presence stirs as though there's no time to waste, but I'm not ready for a child. Could this not be unseemly haste? I have no home, no husband yet. By the angel I was so awed, I didn't stop to think and ask, how do I raise the Son of God? This is a path of faith, I know, and pray God my courage to grow. Because of an edict from Caesar Augustus, Mary and her husband Joseph had to travel to Bethlehem to be counted for a census. While they were there, Mary gave birth and laid the Christ child in a manger because there was no room at the inn. The Bethlehem innkeeper. No vacancies. Say what you want about Caesar, his census brings caravans through. I'll soon have dowries for all my daughters. That poor carpenter's plea for his pregnant young wife, I did what I could. Blankets, the manger, but only the rich get rooms. Then the child was born. Pure love on display, birth of hope and light and life, the Nativity. All right, the birth of Jesus was announced by an angel to shepherds who were grazing their flocks in a field near Bethlehem. The shepherds. A cold night, no different than 1,000 before, until came heavenly light like sun-struck waves, with words to ease limbs fear had seized, and tidings of a Savior born to us impure men, we who live unlettered in the fields, we who keep our flocks from harm, fending off wolves and thieves, we who saw angels form a chorus, heard their hymns of praise and glory, we who went to Bethlehem to seek a manger with a swaddled babe, we who first beheld this undeserved love through which salvation came. At the time Jesus was born, Judea was ruled by Herod the Great. The 3 wise men came to his palace looking for the newborn king of the Jews. Herod viewed this child as a threat to his crown, so he ordered all the male children in Bethlehem under the age of 2 to be slaughtered. I wanted a very stark voice for Herod, so I chose a tonka as the form for this poem. Herod. A king of the Jews is born, the wise men and scribes tell me. No matter. Judah's cub will not survive once this hunter slips his hounds. Once this hunter sounds his horn. Obviously, Jesus escaped the slaughter of the innocents ordered by Herod. An angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and warned him to take the child and his mother to Egypt. Joseph prepares to flee. Hush, child, your mother sleeps so peacefully. Let's give her a moment more before I wake her to gather her things. We have to go. Even before my dream this night, I knew Herod sat uneasy on his throne. I've feared the king's vengeance ever since the Magi came and prayed to protect you from the sword. In my dream, the Holy One, blessed be he, showed me the way. I never would have thought to risk taking you across the desert, and of course your mother, too. She'd never consent to remain behind, safe with our kinsmen here where we had planned to raise you. I've just come from selling what I could. We'll go with a caravan that departs at dawn. If we pack light, it shouldn't overburden the donkey to carry your mother and you in her arms. How we'll live in Egypt, I don't know. Surely they need carpenters there, but if not, I have 2 strong hands to put to any task to provide for your mother and you, precious one. Now, here. Back in your mother's embrace you go. She'll look for you when I wake her. And I'm going to end with a haiku. One babe, his being, love, eternal mystery, the Nativity.
Marie, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Marie, you are bringing us the biblical Christmas story in poems, and you were, giving us the introductions, and I love how you chose your form based on the voice of that, biblical figure. So awesome.
Thank you.
That's such a great way to hear the story. Of course, because we've all heard it, right? But hearing it in this different way kind of brings a whole new vibe to it, which is
absolutely it makes it more personal. We're hearing that voice, and I just absolutely love that. And
right.
Marie, you said earlier that you had heard some of my poems, or you heard last week, and you were like, I relate, and I really, really get it now, Marie. I can't wait to hear more of your poems. We need to connect.
Thank you.
On several topics.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marie. Absolutely wonderful. Chris, just amazing. Another amazing reading. And we have 3 more amazing guests to welcome, Chris.
Yes, you do.
I will leave the banner to you.
Voila.
Perfect. Welcome, Stuart.
There he's got the hat on.
Do we have twins in the house right now?
I have issues.
Oh, yeah.
Stuart, that's too funny.
It's okay. We all have some issues, but it's any movie.
Have issues.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Well, I'm going to introduce Stuart to everyone. Stuart is a Fumfa alum. Yes. Oh, wait. Okay, yes. Stuart Phillips is an expatriate Mississippian, former Army officer and recovering lawyer who now lives and writes in the Mohawk Valley of New York. A graduate of Ole Miss, Pepperdine, and Fairfield University MFA. Woo! Stuart is slowly driving himself mad with revisions on the great Southern novel. You can follow his descent at stuartphillips.work or on Instagram at DeltaWriter12. Stuart, you are just fabulous. We're so thrilled to have you with us tonight.
Thank y'all. So this is a little Christmas excerpt from my Great Southern novel in revision stage. Only things you really need to know is the main character is a young lawyer named Will. He has an ex-wife named Tammy and a wonderful dog named Martha. And he refers to his deceased father as Sir. And I think that pretty much lets you know everybody's positions in this. And Will is heading to lunch with his ex-wife Tammy, and he has a bit of a memory. Will remembered their last Christmas together. A short month after Sir passed, Will came back to the place he called home to find his clothes stuffed into the spare closet alongside their extra pillows. Tammy was in the kitchen. She cut him off before he even started. "I just need some time for myself, Will," she said. The afternoon light caught an angle of cut crystal as she waved her tall Collins glass. "You have to give me some space to work on me. It's better for both of us." Will needed work too, but he simply shrugged and went to give Tammy a kiss. She shifted her weight slightly, so he just grazed her cheek. "Don't smudge my lipstick, please." She turned and resumed making dinner for herself. 3 dutiful weeks later, he began wondering about her plan for Christmas. Her parents had loved the idea of Tammy being a lawyer's wife, but weren't quite as excited about the reality of it, at least with Will. Her father, a semi-retired rice farmer, made no secret of his contempt for Will's sarcastic deflections, but Will found it safer than honesty with someone whose singular accomplishment appeared to be marrying off his daughter well. Even so, every major holiday, her parents traipsed across the river from Arkansas to sit at the long table of dark mahogany, where they silently passed around the Rosenthal china their baby girl had picked up on a trip to Dallas. Now, Will wondered if Tammy was expecting to fake a family Christmas. He found her in the kitchen, idly trailing a finger along the deep green Brazilian granite of the island. The granite was the interior designer's crowning touch. The veins of gold that swirled like a shattered sunburst tied everything together, according to Casey or Kaylee or whatever her name was. $5,000 just for the slab? Will had been raised too cheap not to say something. "We're incredibly lucky that she even had time to fit us in. You know she designed the lobby of the Alluvian Hotel?" Will didn't react. "The Alluvian in Greenwood." He nodded as if in complete understanding and signed the checks. "Have you told your parents?" "About what?" Tammy leaned a hip against the counter and the corners of her lips turned up like a slight breeze. Will felt a surge that he carefully stifled. His relegation apparently wasn't even worth a mention. "Well, we can't very well have them come over here, not the way things are." Tammy made her moo and crossed her arms. "Things are simply fine, Will. You're giving me space and I'm working on myself. That's all. We don't sleep together. We don't eat together. We're basically not even married." The Collins glass hammered the counter. A triangular shard skittered across the swirl. Tammy took a deep breath and ran 2 light fingers down the placket of her shirt, smoothing the careful wrinkles of Irish linen. "Of course we're married, Will." She turned up the volume on her smile as she swept glass dust into the sink. "And we're going to have a nice family Christmas with my parents." She kicked off Christmas Day with a 7 o'clock knock on Will's door. "Don't forget the fire, Will. You know Daddy loves it." Will stared at the plaster medallion on the guest room ceiling and counted to 10. It amazed him how quickly they had passed the point where they laced their words with venom. No problem. Don and Lisa bustled in a little past 9 with hugs for Tammy and nods for Will. Don planted himself in the plaid cushions of the armchair by the fireplace and turned on the lions. Lisa flitted around the tree Will had set up. "Oh, is this real mercury glass?" She reached out and almost touched a shimmering ornament. A glance at Don's face sent her scuttling to the wingback chair across from him. She folded her hands and kept looking at the ornaments. Martha watched from her bed, temporarily allowed inside to round out the holiday tableau. After Tammy put in her tray of Christmas scones, they opened their presents. Will got 3 optimistically undersized polo shirts and a Bella Fleck CD he resolved to never play. Tammy presented her mother with a Movado watch. She gave her father a hefty gift card to the Bass Pro Shop inside the Memphis Pyramid. Tammy did the best, mainly because she shopped for herself. Earrings, a cashmere V-neck, and a pair of shoes with buckles that probably meant something to people who knew things about fashion. Then it was time for her family's tradition, flat scones and full stockings. Their first Christmas, Will wondered aloud why she wrapped each trinket that went into the stockings. "Because they're still presents, silly," she said, as if explaining to a slow child. Now Tammy passed out plates of warm, crumbling bread, while Will handed out the felted stockings she had found at Walmart. He carried Martha's stocking over to her and pulled out a beef knuckle from Liberty Market. Martha proudly observed him unwrap it, then pinned her treasure with her paws and went to work. Will watched the 3 of them accumulate modest piles of ripped wrapping paper, chocolate oranges, bags of walnuts, handfuls of Hershey's Kisses. Finally, Don and Lisa leaned into their chair cushions with contentment. Tammy turned to him and arched her eyebrows. "Open your presents, Will." She watched as he pulled the first packet from his stocking. "Nice wrapping job," he said. Santa's face beamed from sharp creases and perfectly aligned corners. He felt the heft, then carefully pulled back the tape. A 4-pack of D batteries. Will tilted his head and looked at Tammy. She nodded, so he pulled out the next present. More sharp creases, more smiling Santa. 5 ballpoint pens, blue, 1 missing the cap. "What?" Lisa looked at Don, who gave 1 short, sharp chop with his chin. She receded back into her chair. Will opened the 3rd present, a half-full plastic container of thumbtacks, assorted colors. The lid had a long crack that looked like a bolt of lightning. Martha's grisly smacks of joy almost drowned out the slight wheezing from Don. When he unwrapped the frayed end of half a ball of twine, he got it. Tammy had shopped in their kitchen junk drawer. Will looked at the 3 of them. Don and Lisa looked at Tammy. She looked at the presents in his lap, smiled like the last glimmer of sunset over the ocean, then quietly got up and retired to her room. Not even Will was surprised when she filed for divorce before Valentine's. That's it. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, Stuart! I was like, oh no. The tension, the suspense. Oh no.
I think I've gotten those gifts at Christmas time before. That's
Oh no, Chris, never. Nobody would ever.
the underwear. There were socks, tube socks, lightly used. Anyway,
I like the optimistically undersized polo shirts.
Stuart, when's this novel going to be done?
Well, good question.
2022.
Good question. We need to know, Stuart. We need this novel.
It went to an agent. She sent it back to me with 4 pages of revise and resubmit.
Oh,
and
okay.
so
That's a very good sign.
It's a very good sign. So I am busy doing that. So
All right.
probably in the next 6 weeks or so, I'll have that done, and then it'll be back to her. We'll see.
All right. Wish you luck.
Absolutely, Stuart. We need to bring you back for a full feature. We need to hear more.
Absolutely.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much, Stuart.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, sorry. Got him off right there. He's on Merry Christmas. Sorry, guys. Just amazing. Wasn't he just fabulous, Chris? Great,
Yes.
always great to see Stuart.
I know. I love that book, and I can't wait to see it in my hands, my dirty mitts. I want to hold it.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And we have friends in the comments saying the same thing. Joanna Myers out there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people
Absolutely.
waiting on this one. Yep.
Yes, we gotta bring Stuart back. We need a full length reading on
I think we do.
on that one.
I think we do.
That'll
All
be
right.
great. We need to welcome Barb Janice.
Here she
Barb,
comes.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi,
That's okay. No, hello, you guys. Merry holidays.
Merry
Welcome back.
holidays.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes. It's always so good. You guys have so much energy. This late at night, it's wonderful.
Thank you, Barb. It's so great to have you back. And we
I'm
know
glad.
that you were at another reading today. This is like your second or third
Oh.
reading of the day, isn't it?
Big shot.
So
He's a
it's
big
been-
shot. She gets around. And
I get around.
I expect no less of the Ridgefield Poet
That's right.
Laureate.
Oh.
And when I read her bio, you'll understand why. Because B. Fulton Jennis, as she's professionally known, although we call her Barb, is the poet laureate of the great town of Ridgefield, Connecticut, where I live, and also where she
Where
leads,
Nod Hill lives.
and that's right, where she leads intergenerational poetry workshop and serves as poet in residence at the very cool Aldrich Contemporary Art Museum. Her poems have appeared in many, many places, but I'll name a few: Comstock Review, Tupelo Quarterly, Night Heron Barks, Connecticut River Review, Tar River Poetry, the Connecticut Literary Anthology,
Yeah.
1921 and 20 editions, Vassar Review, and many, 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 many. In 2021, her poem From the Room of an Unknown Girl was awarded the Leslie McGrath Prize by Helix Magazine. Her chapbook Mammoth Spring was a finalist in the 2021 Button Poetry Chapbook Contest, and another chapbook called Blinded Birds will be published in the spring of 2022.
Yep, we got it ready for pre-order now, so it's
Excellent.
It's coming.
Fabulous.
All right, well, everybody, sit tight. Enjoy B. Fulton Jennis.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, hello, everybody. I'm just going to read a few poems tonight. They're not especially holiday cheerful, but they do kind of relate to some gifts my father gave me for Christmas. He wasn't well, you'll see from the poems, he wasn't really attuned to what children need or want for Christmas. And they're from another collection I'm working on now called Mammoth Spring. So without further ado, I will read the first one called My Father Gave Me a Jackknife, Forgetting I Was 6. I still trusted him then, believed he would never allow me harm. So I ran the blade across the tip of my thumb, sure and unafraid. The blood plumed through a bank of snow where I thrust my unmittened hand, more to conceal the wound from my sisters than to stanch the flow. The snow turned the color of a sky at dawn. The murky red sailors are taught to dread. Finally, the bleeding stopped, no stitches. But the wound reopened for weeks afterwards, staining school projects, bathwater, the inside of mittens, which dried stiff and hard and dark. Like so much else, the scar disappeared into the whorl of a fingerprint, but for years it resembled a toothless smirk, mocking my belief. Yeah, Dad. And here's another one called My Father Gave Me the Visible Woman, Forgetting I Was 8. An exciting assembly kit. All organs can be removed and replaced. Educational and fun. Added feature, the miracle of birth. Those, by the way, are the real copy from the top of the box of this assembly kit called The Visible Woman. My list ran long that year. Barbie with a red bouffant, a slick black ponytail, Barbie in pink negligee, Barbie whose legs did not spread when she sat, breasts with no nipples, buttocks barely cleft. He was a man who hated Christmas, thought of guns and knives as children's gifts. But here under the tree, a package just the size of an asked-for Barbie doll case, and the tag read, "To Barbie from Dad." Under the ripped paper, a flayed woman smiled faintly. I lifted the lid to bags of pink organs, skeleton pieces, halves of a ghost woman, paint, glue. Buried in the clutter, an unadorned cardboard box, plain, sealed. Inside, a crystal pod, teardrop shaped. A flesh fetus in pieces, front, back, dismembered leg. A snap-on belly, seen through to crushed intestines, an embubbled baby, the indelible unsaid. This is what you become. So a little bit lighter here, not a lot. I did last year a series of cookies. I was making Christmas cookies with my mother's Christmas cookie recipes. So I wrote 3 light ones, 3 kind of fun ones, and 3 a little bit sadder, but not terrible. But so I'll start with the lighter ones first. A dropped bag of flour, vanilla extract, all gone, out of my wheelhouse. The next cookie. Husband salivates, watching me roll cookie dough. Suddenly sexy. And the third kind of light one. Since when are druggies for decoration only? F you, FDA. And then the 3 a little bit more somber, reflective ones. The first one is, a mother's cookies baked exactly the same way. Why were hers sweeter? Her recipe book stained with buttered fingerprints. She watches me bake. The Christmas she died, I laid cookies on her grave. The next day, it snowed. So those are my Christmas, my Christmas tales of woe for you tonight. And I hope everyone has a good holiday.
Barb, thank you so much. It is important to bring those more challenging or wacky or concerning or lonely or sad nostalgic moments. That is all part of the holiday experience.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is.
I love these high cookies, you know.
I know, right?
I would see, like, Barb, I think you could, you know, if you baked some cookies and then wrote the haiku on the cookies at Christmas time.
I love it.
Sell them for, you know, $3 a piece, and you make a bundle.
That's a pretty awesome idea, Chris.
There you go. I think.
Right.
Well, since we're almost neighbors, are you good at frosting?
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm good at frosting.
I'll get Frankie, my daughter, on that end.
I'll come from Norwalk. I'll help.
This could be fun. This is good.
I love it.
Well, thank
The
you.
high cookies might be gone before we get it.
That's my problem. Never lasts very long.
Anyway, that's great stuff. And
powerful poems, Barb. Thank
yeah,
you so much.
those were even worse presents than in Stuart's.
See you soon, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Barb. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Always so good to see B. Fulton Janice. Powerful stuff always. And I forgot to compliment her lovely little Christmas pin, her lovely holiday pin. Fabulous. Well, Chris, we have one more amazing reader this evening. One of our dear Fumfa friends. Oh, I'm sorry, I put up the banner, Chris.
Yeah,
One of our dear Fumfa friends, Meg Moore. Hey, Meg. So good to see you, Meg. We have a very special.
Hi, Katie and Chris.
Hey.
It's great to be back on here.
Oh, it's so great to have you.
Always so fabulous to have you, Meg. Meg is going to read something for us, and then we have a special video. And Meg, when you tell me to put up the video, I will put it right up there for you, okay? All right. Let me read your bio to introduce you to everyone. All right. Let me get scrolling. Okay, here we go. Margaret Moore is a 2020 magna cum laude graduate of Fairfield University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in English creative writing. Me too, I'm a Fairfield undergrad as well. She is currently an MFA candidate with a dual concentration in nonfiction and poetry in Fairfield University's Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing program. This year, Meg holds a graduate assistantship through Fairfield University, in which she interns as an editor at Woodhall Press, awesome, and serves as managing editor of Dogwood, a journal of poetry and prose. She also works as an ambassador for PRC Saltillo. Her writing has appeared in Brevity's nonfiction blog, Kairos, a journal of rhetoric, technology, pedagogy, Independent Catholic News, Two Drops of Ink, a literary blog, Positive Writer, and How We Are, among other publications. So amazing. We will leave you to it, Meg, and you just give me the cue and I will for the video. All right.
Thank you. I'm going to start by reading an excerpt from my memoir. My memoir is about my childhood growing up with a physical disability, cerebral palsy, losing my father to stomach cancer before my second birthday, being raised with my two older brothers by a single mother, and partaking in regular education, athletics, and extracurricular activities. It's not published yet, but hopefully I'll be looking into publication shortly after I graduate in the summer. The part I'm reading tonight is just after my grandmother passed away at Christmas time, and my narrator is reflecting back on a favorite Christmas memory of her. For our first Christmas in Middlebury in 2001, my father's friend, Frank Hartnett, took the boys to cut a real tree down at a farm and returned with an 8-foot tall, 6-foot wide real tree. Get one that's tall and narrow, Mom had instructed. The doorways aren't overly wide here. A few hours later, Mom and I took a break from decorating with various stockings, festive stuffed animals, and more to answer the door. Sean was the first one in, grinning from ear to ear. I got the biggest, fattest tree I could find. Our mouths hung open as they attempted to squeeze it through the front door. What happened to tall and narrow? Mom was still in shock. I couldn't refuse. Frank looked around at Mom meekly. Really? Mom looked at Frank with an amused yet disbelieving look. How are you going to get it in here? By then, it was evident that, even after trimming the branches, it was not coming in through the front door. Their next approach was bringing it through the garage. After more trimming, it just fit. We put it in the foyer, partly because of the high ceiling, and we began to hang ornaments so that it looked evenly decorated. Mom had to go out and buy more lights just to cover the entire surface. What I remember most, though, is Grammy's reaction to the tree. She had been diagnosed with dementia by then, and it seemed like she was losing her memory by the minute. Mom had her over for Christmas dinner, and she sat for hours by the tree, mesmerized by its beauty. That is such a beautiful tree, she kept saying. It's so beautiful. I remember her ivory face alight with her amazement and joy as she maintained her gaze practically the whole day. Watching how much she delighted in the simple beauty was a gift in itself, one that I took with me to ponder and cherish throughout life. And for the last piece I'll share, I'm going to show a digital humanities poem. When I was an undergraduate at Fairfield, the university was given the opportunity to make an hour-long Christmas special that was shown on CBS on Christmas Eve in 2017, and I was asked to write a poem that the University Media Center turned into the trailer to advertise the special. So we will play that video for you now.
"'Tis the season at Fairfield, and all through the land all staff and students are brimming with Christmas cheer. There's so much to do, so many festivities planned, and an abundance of traditions that only a stag would truly understand. There's the annual tree lighting up by the chapel, with the Bensonians and Sweet Harmony lifting their voices on perfect key to create Fairfield's own unique seasonal melody. With a classic countdown and a flick of a switch, the huge frosty green tree glows with cool colors against the pitch black night, dazzling the crowd and bringing joy to all faces. All who have gathered pause for a moment and gaze, and then the stags are off to the races, running in out of the cold to see what Santa's workshop has in store. The lower level of the campus center has been transformed into a winter wonderland, with scenes of snowmen and Santa and Lucas and reindeer galore. At the very heart of it, the stags are hard at work, making keepsake crafts and blankets for those in need. The line for pictures with Santa keeps growing longer, because at Fairfield, you are never too old. While other college students and staff are turning in after the last day of class, those at Fairfield are making their way across campus in their most festive gear to celebrate the season over Fairfield's famous midnight breakfast, coming together to enjoy this late evening meal, singing along with the carolers at a volume that no door can conceal. But no matter how high-spirited the stags get, all settle down to go to the annual candlelit Advent Mass. It is indeed a glorious time to be a stag. Then again, it always is.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Meg, that was absolutely beautiful. I'm not crying, you're crying. That was so gorgeous. And as a Fairfield undergrad, I'm like double extra misty. It was so beautiful.
Oh my God.
Perfect ending to our show, Meg. What a beautiful piece that you shared about that big fat Christmas tree and your grandma, and that beautiful, beautiful piece that was shown as part of that gorgeous video. Thank you so much, Meg. Chris, wasn't that just fantastic?
It was. It's so true. It was a perfect way to end an amazing night of holiday poems, stories, essays, confessions, video, songs.
I love it. Perfect. Meg, thank you so much. We love your work, and we got to have you back in 2022. We will see you then.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Meg.
You.
Thank you.
Well, Chris, what an absolutely fabulous reading we had tonight. Let's just run through these amazing names. Thank you so much to Deb Carr, Meredith Kaiser, Terry Rose Jertson, Unmesh Mohit-Carr, Lisa Castner, Ed Poetastic, Marie Mitchell, Stuart Phillips, B. Fulton Jennis, and Meg Moore. Incredible writers and friends. Thank you so much. You were amazing.
Ho, ho, ho.
And thank you so much to our amazing audience. We love you so much. We wouldn't be able to do this without the writers and also without you. And we're so thankful that we get to have the joy of doing this nearly every week, sharing these writers, sharing our own writing with you, and just celebrating just how great that is, and enjoying our community together. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
We're this is our last reading for 2021. We've filled up the year with great stuff. And a little announcement to our Fumfa friends who Katie and I will be doing a little presentation at the residency, the virtual residency on the 29th, 2:00. Sign up for that, show up, be there on Zoom or however they do. We're going to talk about this little party we have every week. It's going to be nice.
Thank you so much, Chris, for mentioning that. And I believe alumni are welcome to attend. Is that
As
correct?
far as I know.
Ah, yes. So get that on your calendars for Fumfa current students and alums. And we will be back in the new year in January, and we can't wait to see you then. We wish you the happiest of holidays, and we will see you in the new year. We love you all. I love you, Chris. Happy holidays, Chris.
You happy holidays and New Year. Happy New Year. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Everybody, keep on reading.
Yes.
Keep on writing.
That is absolutely right, Chris. Yes. Keep on reading and writing. Good night, everyone.